Traditions and customs are national treasure. Kazakh people observe traditions over many centuries. The Great Steppe is an amulet of the country. You can watch the customs and traditions of the Kazakhs in the Modern Nomads program. The story of Kazakh ornaments should be a proud one. For hundreds of years, nomads had a rich relationships with patterns. Indeed, in the most minimal of landscapes, nothing but flat land and sky, plain surfaces were somehow banished. People lived in yurts that were wrapped on the outside with decorative belts, lined on the inside with woven reed mats, wall hangings, and felt rugs. Wooden chests were covered in colorful designs, leather vessels even stamped with shapes. Women wore dresses packed with abstract flora, and their silver jewelry glistened with pinpoint detail. Today, about 300 types of ornaments are saved. Every ornaments have their own names. The first ornaments were found in Andronovo culture and Saks and Huns heritage. There are 4 types of Kazakh ornaments: plants, animal, geometrical, and astronomical. Kazakh ornaments are extremely beautiful, and they were taken from falconry, agriculture, and hunting art. That's why we are able to see the steppe art from these ornaments.
Халқымыз өзі талғампаз халық. Енді осы талғампаздығыменен әрбір ой өрнектің өзінің де мән мағынасына қарай отырып, орнына қарай қолданған.
The samples of ornaments are created by folk masters in a unique and creative way. Kazakhs use every ornament with their own definition. For example, the ornament of the eagle wing shape were drawn on the headwear, and for males' clothing and ornaments of arrowhead and pine, juniper tree, fir trees, weapon ornaments were drawn as well. These ornaments are decorated on clothing, while clothes of boys and girls were decorated with plant ornaments.
Қару-жарақтың өрнектері, түсірілген өрнектер сияқты нәрселерден өрнек салады. Мәселен, жондарына, кеуделеріне, дізелеріне, сол сияқты жерлерге өрнектер салынады. Ал енді
For example, wealthy and rich people dressed up with expensive chapan and coats decorated with gold and silver. The ornaments were drawn with deep thoughts. There are a lot of national ornaments on the costumes of young girls and boys' costumes with light colors. A marriageable age girls should wear headdresses as takiya with taj muiz ornaments.
Taj muiz деген мүйіздер алдына көбірек келтіріледі. Оның кейін басқа
As we know, Kazakh girls wear headdresses regarding to their ages and family status, while male clothing is decorated with ram's horns ornaments, and bride's headwear, saukile, is decorated with metal fishnet tops, tiaras sometimes made of gold with inlays of semi-precious stones or strings of pearls, corals, or etc., temple pendants, and chin decorations. In ancient time, Kazakhs used ornaments for all applied arts. For example, people did not wear headwear or chapans without ornaments. And the spreading of ornaments is associated with the development of applied arts with the production of household items. Their influence enlivened the national public consciousness, the everyday existence, manifested in the development of culture, and affected the improvement of living conditions. The prosperity of ornamental art was also due to the world surrounding the person, to the perception of the sacred land of the native country, to the rich views of the steppes, mountains, and forest, to the raw wealth. Kazakhs used in their clothing different ornaments that showed singularity of nomadic applied art. The yurt is one of the most sensible movable houses that was left by our ancestors, and the inside of this house was decorated with different types of beautiful ornaments. Connection to the nature and the universe is also reflected in the interior design of the yurt.
Солтүстік кигіздердің өрнектеріне неміне табақ мүйіздер төңкеріледі. Одан кейін
The most common products of masters are the pattern felts. The ornaments of felt are drawn in the shape of a horn. Then it will be drawn a heart-shaped ornament. Some masters drew arrowhead ornaments in the middle of the saucer bowl. What was the reason? As some craftsmen used flower ornaments a lot. Gul, this ornament, is an allegory of all kinds of flowers that are found in the flora world and is found in handicraft items starting with a 3-leaved and up to 12-leaved pattern. Also, these ornaments are embroidered on the edges of clothing items, collars, and pockets. The definition of this ornament was to show the beauty of the world. What about Jibek ornaments? Jibek is ancient forms of Kazakh ornaments depicted as an arrowhead. This pattern is sometimes small and sometimes large. Smaller varieties are used in the field of fine fancy work on products from wood, bone, and horn. Major elements are used in the manufacture of sirimaks, tikimets, and carpets. In the time, war people told about Jibek, may your arrow will be sharp and your enemy will not be close to you. They believe the sharp arrow will protect them from anything. Alima Yiskakzi is an ethnographer who researched Kazakh culture of applied art heritage. She was born in Tarbagatai location of China. Currently, she lives in her motherland. Alima is an author of several books, and she wrote a book about the art of sirmak. Her works included embroidery art and culture of the yurt house. Alima deeply researched the theme of our nation's clothing. Especially her works about tikimet and sirmak art is the heritage of our nation.
I
wrote widely in my book, The Art of Sirmak, about ornaments of sirmak. Sirmak is a carpet in which one design is mirrored in different colors, creating from shapes cut of fine felt. The pattern layer is quilted together and sewn onto the felt thing. A decorated red color shows the outline of the pattern where they have been stitched together. The most popular and widespread are sirmaks made in technique of inlaid work. To make a sirmak, felt of two different colors are chosen and laid on one another. The pattern is then drawn with a piece of coal, chalk, or soap and cut out. After that, the pattern of one color is inserted into the aperture of the other and sewn. The patterns are decorated with Jibek. Now the ready right side of the sirmak is laid on the coarse felt and stitched together with the patterns. This process is called locally suru, from which the word sirmak stems. Carpets produced in this manner are very durable and can be used for many years. Every sirmak has its own ornaments and with measured sizes. The ornaments of sirmak are different from other ornaments, as the patterns are made by stitching woolen thread on the right side in the form of ornaments. Spiral-like patterns are accentuated with the help of colored decorative yarn, or jibek. The ornaments of sirmak is titled as jildi oyu. The ornaments from the felt is cut and sewed to sirmak. Oyu sirmak are cut out from different colored pieces, then sewn onto the felt. There are different types of ornaments for sirmak carpets. Kazakh words oyu, cut out, and ornek, pattern, have one meaning as ornament. This word became widespread among many nations. The rhythmic repetition and symmetric location of geometric figures, elements, and outlines of the flora and fauna representatives seem the final sample of the ornament. The basis of national-specific ornaments formed a whole tradition in the applied arts. Cutting out developed as well as modeling of ornaments and various design techniques that use copying to other materials. Certain kinds of ornaments for carpets, clothing, felt, tableware, weapons, and household furniture were made. Thus, the ornaments did not immediately arise in the form in which they are known to us today. Ornaments are images of the surrounding world, passed through the mind of man and filled with the beating of his heart. The appearance of flowers, leaves, and animals was not copied in its original form, but through the imaginative thinking it was imprinted in the patterns and came into use in its own special way, with a special harmony. National patterns are very diverse and deserve a special attention. Ornaments certainly reflect the outlook of Kazakh people. This type of art will not develop by its own way as sculpture or pictorial art. We draw ornaments to the household items owing to the drawing this art develops.
Мына сырмақтардың өзінің өңірлік ерекшеліктері бар. Мәселен, керей оюлары, ол
Every region of our country has its own magnificence in sirmak ornaments. For example, Kire ornaments sizes are bigger as Naiman tribes. There are several names of Naiman tribes as Togistan, Bali, Naiman. For example, an ornament of the Kizai tribe of Naiman clan can be similar to the Alban tribe's ornament. They have large patterns and ornaments. The ornaments of Alban tribes are similar to ancient patterns. There are also Tore ornaments. Their shapes are close to Kyrgyz ornaments.
Байырғы үлгілерге көбірек соларда көбірек немене қылып тұрады. бейнелеп тұрады байрақ үлгілерді, байрақ өрнектерді.
Every region of Kazakhstan has its own significance in patterns and ornaments. Toriler and Uyak tribes living in Tarabagatai regions, and their ornaments were similar with large sizes.
Төрелер, уақтар, солардың оюлары сәл бір-біріне жақындау, кесектеу оюлар болады.
The story of Kazakh ornaments should be a proud one, and ornaments of Kazakh people included deep philosophical meaning. For example, a ram's horn ornament is the most ancient form of the Kazakh ornament, depicted as a horn. The patterns of a ram's horn is sometimes small and sometimes large. Smaller varieties are used in the field of fine fancy work on products from wood, bone, or horn. The ram's horn ornament was as a symbol of wealth and prosperity. The artist who draws patterns and ornaments should be talented artists with experience in art.
Сырмақ өзі көп түрлі болады, сырмақтар. Мәселен, үлкені болады, кішкенесі болады, оның барлығының атауы бар.
Kazakh sirmaks are not just felt goods, they are masterpieces. Each sirmak has its own name, as Tor sirmak, Tize sirmak, Jambas sirmak, and Kosh sirmak.
Қарай отырып, сырмақтар үлкен де кіші де болып жасалады. Дөңгелек сырмақтар да болады, олар тізе сырмақтар, отбасы сырмақтар болады. Оның ең әгі үлкен отқа айландырып.
The felt carpets fall into different categories depending on its size. Their size are large and small and have their own making technique. There are sirmaks with wool ornaments and embroidered sewing ornaments. Each of them is entitled differently.
Кестелі сырмақтар, мәселен, кигізге баспа кестемен тігіледі. Оюлы сырмақтар, ол кигіз бұлдан ойып.
Most spread sirmaks are made with the techniques of incrustation from various color pieces of felt. The ornament of the sirmaks that was created with the help of sewing thread made of camel wool. An embroidered sirmak is sewed on the felt. Another type of sirmak is called cutting out sirmak, where a craftswoman cuts out ornaments from the felt and then sew them on the felt. It requires a lot of work.
Құрастырып барып, сонан кейін оны жиектейді, астарлайды, оның көп жұмыстары бар енді.
The ram's horn ornament could be considered as one of the basic and ancient ornamental elements in Kazakh decorative applied art. It is dominated by the horn-like and accurate lines. There are lots of types of ram's horn ornaments as Khoshkark muyiz, Arkhar muyiz, Kos muyiz, Sirnar muyiz, and Sinik muyiz. Craftswoman has drawn every element of these ornaments very successfully, and they're drawn in Kazakh clothing as well. But ornaments for clothing have their own magnificence, and ornaments which were drawn and sewed for collars will not be repeated in the headwear of shoes.
Мәселен, кимешек чылауыш киеді біздің қазақтар. Сонда кимешекке
Women's headgears are more complicated in make and more richly decorated. For example, the married woman wear under the kimishek a type of head shawl made from very light material. The ends around the facial opening are hemmed with ornaments. Kimishek is one of the most respected women's headdress. Kimishek is sewed from white cloth and its edges are hemmed.
Біз енді әйел қыз балалар әдепті, ибалы.
Traditionally, women wore the kimishek at home and covered it with a white turban when they went out. Kimishek was decorated with different ornaments. In the lower part of the kimishek from the front side are attached silver coins. It makes the kimishek more attractive and does not let the kimishek be wrinkled.
Оның кейін бауыр мүйіз деген мүйіз салынады. Ол бауыр мүйізді не үшін салады дегенде
bird-shaped ornaments have decorated as well. Every element of ornaments have their own meaning. Kazakh traditional women's clothing has very deep roots. Clothing is a phenomenon which shows national and cultural image of the country. It has aesthetic and ethno-cultural and social significance.
Жолында ешқандай кедергі болмасын деген мән мағынаны білдіріп отырады.
The art of embroidery in Sirmak are closely connected with the history of the nation. The house items and the clothes of the nomadic Kazakhs residing in the Great Steppe were always decorated with the embroidery and passing from one generation to the next as heritage. First of all, embroidery art was sewn on felt carpets. The beautiful and multicolored items of the Kazakh yurt are like the exhibition of the embroidery art. It required a talent and patience to sew embroidery art. In ancient times, the bride's dowry of wealthy people and for new married couples included lots of embroidered things. All clothing and furniture of the yurt house were embroidered. It is a great art.
Біз асыл тастарды өте бағалы санаймыз ғой. Асыл тастарды өте бағалы санаймыз. Сондықтан
we consider the gemstones expensive. That's why in ancient time wealthy people ordered to make them embroidered products, including gemstones, as they could leave them from generation to the next. An aristocrat ordered to craftswomen embroidered art with pearls. A rich person, Alen, who was a descendant of Kugidai, ordered for his daughters embroidered carpets with pearl stones. The wealthy people from Tarabagatai also had embroidered art with pearls, as this pearl is useful for the human's health. Consequently, the pearl is a symbol of beauty and precious gemstone.
Олардың барлығы меруерт. Меруерт деген адам денсаулығына пайдалы деп айтады. Одан кейін ол әрі әсемдік, ол басқалардың әдеттегі адамдардың қолы жетпейтін асыл дүниелер.
The embroidery art included the cloth, leather, felt, and colorful threads, beautiful composition that was sewn by silk thread and making owing to embroidery art. This art is widespread among people since ancient time, and embroidery art is sewn by the needle, an awl, or an embroidery machine. Sometimes craftswomen use gemstones as pearls and corals. All in the yurt, from the top of the room to the entrance, is embroidered with flower clusters and ornaments. Usually the type of stitch used for embroidery is the chain stitch, in which a special bridle picks up a loop of thread from under the cloth, pulls it over a small space at the top, and resends it to the rear where it is locked in by the next loop. The basic techniques or stitches on surviving examples of the earliest embroidery, chain stitch, running stitch, cross stitch remain the fundamental techniques of hand embroidery today. All these techniques used by craftswomen during the work as embroidery clothing, headwear, or carpets.
Тоқыма заводтары жоқ болды бізде. Сол кездерде
We did not have embroidery factories. In ancient times, needlewomen took 1 meter of fabric, colored the wool, then sewed with thread and embroidery art. Some masters of embroidery art used wool of the sheep or camel's wool, then spinning the wool, they colored them. The gemstones, as pearl and corals, were expensive. That's why craftswomen used in their embroidery art with these gemstones to leave for their daughters as heritage. Consequently, gemstones are useful for humans' health. Some stones as an amulet that can bring happiness and success in life.
Екіншіден, ол денсаулыққа пайдалы, кейбір тастардың адамның өзінің жақсылыққа бастайтын неменесі болады деп жатады. Соны жақсылық шақырып тұратын тастар деп жатады.
An ornament and embroidery art is a golden root of Kazakh art. All the elements of Kazakh ornament are dedicated to the adornment of the items of the house. They are widely used at the attire of the yurt. Beautiful ornaments we can see from the yurt's baskur and chegrass, as the colorful ornaments on the chegrass show harmony inside the yurt. And ornaments on baskurs is the main ribbon decorating the interior of the yurt. Decorative woven band used to fasten the felt covering onto the frame of the yurta. All ornaments are not repeated. Life is continuously on the move and constantly develops. Hereby the art of ornament is developed and enriched. In conclusion, we would like to say as Kazakh ornaments included mathematical and geometric sciences. Every ornament had their own names. They were drawn with their own structure in a different way. The ornaments which have been drawn for the wood, silver, or sirmak and embroidery art are whole science, and the owners of this science are Kazakh craftswomen, artists, and jewelers. May the heritage of our nation be eternal.